Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly and I'm here with a new tutorial for country craft creations, and for this one I'm using the beautiful amber and apricot paper collection and I just love it. So what we're gonna be making is this traveler album and notepad, and so basically all I'm using is cardstock and some envelopes and paper bags. So this is going to be super easy. So let me do a quick walkthrough here. So on this side I have some room for journal to keep some tickets, memorabilia of my trip, and this here I'm using envelopes to make these pages, and then here you have like a pull out. And yeah, so and then also a pull out on this side, and yeah, so it's very easy. It came together super fast. At the bottom here, at the end here, I have a journaling little notepad, and yeah, so let's get started. But first let me show you what I'm inspired on. So I made this little it's like a little journal notebook that I made a couple months ago for a swap, and then I liked it so much that I made one for myself. But I'm kind of inspired on the concept of just like having different places for for pictures, and then to tag some memorabilia or some journaling spaces. And then here there's like a paper bag to to just put little things like that, right? But I want to do it on a Thanksgiving theme, since I am going to spend Thanksgiving with my family in Peru. I want to journal all about it and save our trip memories in like a little practical travel size little book journal. I don't know what you want to call it, but so I'm going to be using this little notepad. I think this is a traveling notepad, I think, because of the size of it. But I found this one at Michael's, and I don't recall if it's Tim Holtz or Recollections, but I liked how thick the pages are, because I will be staining these and stamping and just doing all kinds of things to that. So that's gonna be like the main ingredient here. But I'm going to be using some craft cardstock, and this one is heavyweight, but you don't need to get heavyweight. It's just what I have. And then I'm going to be using some paper bags and some craft color envelopes to use as the page inserts. And so yeah, and then some double-sided tape, and I'm going to be using this beautiful paper collection as you saw, which is the Amber and Apricot by Blue Fern Studios, that was sent on my design team package. So I can't wait. It's such a beautiful paper collection. So I'm going to start by joining these two sheets together, and I just added some double-sided tape, and I intend for this to be very fast. I mean, it is 11 o'clock and we are traveling tomorrow. I just can't sleep right now, and I figure, hey, might as well go make something to entertain myself, because the plane ride, it's a long way there, it's a long way home. It's 10 hours on the air, but then we do have like a 2 or 3 hour layover. So yeah, it's going to be fun. So I got my girls packing all kinds of coloring books. I know they probably have movies on the plane, but anyway. Oh, and by the way, my daughter Emma is going to be blogging our trip on her YouTube channel. So if you guys are interested in watching our adventures, I'm going to put her channel down below. She just started her channel today, and she's super excited about it. So yeah, please go check her out. Okay, so let's get started here. So I joined my two pieces of cardstock together, and I want my album, I don't want it to be this thing. I want to be able to fit a big 4x6 pictures without much trimming. So I'm going to make these a 5 let me see, my envelopes here measure 5¼ but I'll be trimming this as well. So I also don't want to make it too big, so I don't know. So I'm just going to score at 5, and I want to make my spine a 1 inch, but I'm not gonna, I want my spine to be flexible like my book here. See how it rounds? So I'm going to score at 5¼ let me move these, 5¼ 5½, at 5¾ and at 6. So this 1 inch, it's going to be all score. So that's gonna be my round closing. And then I'm gonna score at 11 inches. And this is right where we did that connection, so I want to make sure I score that good. Okay, and then again I'm gonna score every 1/4 inch until 12. So I'm gonna score at 11¼ you know what, 1 second, I think I work better with this one. Okay, so I have the 11 1/4, 11½, 11 3/4, and 12. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, and from the last score line I'm going to cut 4 inches away. So I'm going to line up here. Actually, I'm going to do 3 inches. I think 4 is too much. So my last score line here, as you can see, I'm gonna line it up with the 3 like that, and then I'm just going to trim. And that's it. That's all. This is gonna be the cover of your album journal. I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna call it an album for now. I don't know. I just don't know what it is. I mean, it's an album, but more oriented as a journaling for me. But it's at the same time, it's not a traveling. No, I don't know. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm just having fun. I'm just doing what you know, my head just goes, and I just do what I'm told in my head. Okay, so I'm going to bend on each one of these scores, and it's kind of, there you go. So then you're gonna mark it right there. It's gonna be a little bit hard because the scores are so close together, but there you go. So you want to give it a good fold to each one of those. Okay, I think I got them all. And see how it starts like rounding up instead of being stiff. And then we're gonna do the same on this other side. So I'm gonna start here, and let's see, I'm just gonna do them all here. Yeah, this part, it's a little bit tricky because, like I say, they're so close together that they don't really want to bend yet. Okay, and I think I have one more. Yeah. So yeah, so make sure you do all of them. Okay, so here we go. So now we have the base of our small journal slash book here. And then I'm gonna open these up, and then I'm going to do a little binding. So I'm gonna grab another piece of cardstock, Okay, and I'm gonna move this to the side for right now. So I'm gonna trim this on the long side here at the same size as my envelope, so actually a little bit smaller. So my envelope measures 7 1/4, so I'm gonna trim this at 7. So whatever envelopes you are using, you just trim it a little bit smaller than that. Okay, so then I'm gonna grab this piece and I'm going to score just as we always do our hinge system here. So I'm going to score at 1. Okay, but now my gusset's only gonna be 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna score at 1 1/4. Okay, 1 1/4, and then I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and that will be where I'm going to put my inserts of my envelope. So this one is 1 3/4, and then you're going to do at 2 1/4. Okay, so you have 2 1/2 inches there. And then my next gusset, it's going to be at 2 1/2. And then we're gonna do this again, so we're gonna score at 3 and 3 1/2, and that's my second insert. And then 3 3/4, which is my gusset again. And then I'm going to score at 4 1/4 and 4 3/4. Okay, so then I have 1 2 3, and the last one I'm gonna score at 5. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut at 6, so I'm just gonna mark with my score line at 6 inches, which is where I'm going to trim my paper. Okay, and I promise that was the most difficult thing you're gonna do. So everything else after that is super easy. So I'm just going to pinch this, the 1/2 inch ones, and make him as like a heel, just to add our inserts. So then you can glue them on the back, or you can use double-sided tape. So I'm just going to use my tape. Okay. So you're gonna put it on each side where your 1/2 inch score is, just on one of the sides, and then you're gonna put those two together. You can also use glue, that's your choice. I'm just trying to do this really fast. I don't want to wait for the glue right now to dry. So I'm gonna take this off, and then I'm just gonna put those two together, and I'm gonna mark it here with my score. Okay, so just mark it right there, and then put the other two together, and then again mark it, and the last two together, and you mark it again. Okay, so now you have this 1 2 and 3 inserts. See how tiny these are? If you want to make a bigger, chunkier journal, you can add more, as many as you want. You know, just make your binding, your spine wider. But for me, I just want something very simple. Okay, so then we're gonna go in here, and we're going to glue. Actually, I need to fold this. I didn't fold along the last score line. Okay, so now you have a piece like this, right? So we're gonna put glue only on this 1-inch side on each one of my sides. And again, I'm gonna just use my tape here, but I'm gonna use the bigger tape. So let's see, so let me turn this around and add my double-sided tape. So in this case, you don't want to put any glue or tape on the center here, because that part is actually not going to be connected to your book, because you want it to round up. You don't want it to be stiff. So once I have these, I'm just gonna peel off this tape. I'm just gonna do what? Actually, I'm gonna do one side first, and then you're gonna line up your first score line here, your little mark, to your first score line on your binding. And I hope you can see that. So it will be the very first one here. And then I'm gonna center up and down as well. So something like this. And remember that it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. And then I'm just gonna go back here and take off the second tape. And yeah, again, you want to make sure you are aligned to the other score line. And that's it. So now that is how, and see, when you bend this, your pages are gonna like crunch together, but it's going to be still round. Now we're gonna add our page inserts, which are our envelopes. So I'm gonna use 3, and I'm going to close them up, and I will use my glue for that. So I'm just going to close these envelopes. So all 3 of them. And then I'm going to trim my envelopes. Okay, so my envelopes might measure 5 1/4, and my book, the inside, let me measure here, it measures 5 1/4 as well. But I don't want this to be exactly the same. So I do want to give it a little room for them to kind of crunch together. So I'm trimming my envelope at 4 1/2, which is exactly what I need if I want to add a picture. So right here at 4 1/2, I'm going to trim 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and now this is going to be what goes inside my album. If you want to make this into a pocket, you can make a pocket on the top by trimming a little tiny bit, or you can make a pocket on the side by trimming a little tiny bit over here. So I'm going to trim on the side just a tiny little, just something like that. And I'm going to do that for all my 3 envelopes. 1 and 2 and 3. Very, very tiny. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm ready to insert my envelopes in here. So again, you can do that with tape or glue, whichever you prefer. And because I'm not going to wait for the glue, I'm just going to add tape to both sides. And I'm gonna show you one, and then I'm gonna do the other 2 off camera. just to save a little time. So once you have your tape on both sides, you peel off your tape just a little bit there, and then you're gonna insert your envelopes. And make sure you don't go all the way in. Just like that. And then you're gonna push and glue or stick it in there, and then take this tape out. And then you're gonna flip it and do the same thing. Just take your tape out. So I'm gonna do the same, and I'll be right back with the other two. So I added my envelope pages here, and then I went ahead and covered the back of my book. But then I realized that I was going to add a pocket here, so don't do what I did. So now I'm gonna grab another piece of cardstock, and we are going to cut this at 6 1/4 by 5. And this is going to be a pocket to add our little journaling book. So I'm going to score this piece at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score 1/4 inch after that. So you're going to score at 1/2 and 3/4, and then we're going to turn it around and do the same, 1/2 and 1/4 or more. So, and then we're going to trim it again, 1/2, not trim it, sorry, score again, 1/2 and 1/4. Okay, so then you're going to have a pattern like this, and then we're going to go ahead and trim the corners like that along the second score line. Okay, and then we are going to bend along our score lines, both of them, just like that. So this is gonna be a pocket that has 1/4 inch gussets to be able to fit our little journal. And let me grab it. So I went ahead and covered this paper thinking my pocket was gonna go on top, but I would actually suggest you put your pocket first and then cover it. I don't know what happened to me. But it's okay, so don't do what I did. Add your pocket first, and then you can add your paper here. So I'm gonna add some glue to each one of the sides, and let's see, and then we're just gonna place it along here. Okay, and when you add it, you want to make sure that your gusset on your pocket is perpendicular to your page. You don't want to squeeze it. So let me just go ahead and make sure this is up, and there you go. So now we have our little pockets for our journal. Let's see here. Still wet, so I don't want to pull it up, but there you go. So it will fit. It should fit your journal just fine. And again, I'm using this one because this is something I had, but this is completely optional. You don't have to use it. You can make your own little journal to fit your pages. So now I'm going to go ahead and cover the front side of my book as well. I'm just going to distress all around this paper using my vintage photo distress ink. And I gotta tell you, I love this paper. This paper is so, it's so thick. You see that? So it gives your album, it will give your album a lot of strength as well. So I'm going to add this, and then for this front cover, I want to do like an accordion pockets, so I can store tickets or, you know, receipts, anything related to our trip that I want to save. So for that, I'm going to use my little paper bags that I have. So I'm probably going to use like 3 or 4 maybe. And so this is going to be very, very simple. I'm going to grab my bags, and then I'm just going to put one on top of the other. Just as simple as that. So I'm going to, I guess I can glue here. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to glue it. And then I'm going to add glue all around the border, and maybe some in here, some in the middle. And I'm just going to place this right up on top of my other bag. And I'm not going to trim the top because I really want this crunchiness of the bag. See? And I'm going to do the same one more time. I'm just going to, I don't think it matters if you glue that, but I'm just going to do it. So, and then I'm going to go all the way around. And all the way. Okay, so then I'm gonna place that right on top here. So I think 3 should be enough. So then when you open it, you get this accordion effect, right? We've done this before, so it's just a different way to do it. And then I'm just gonna grab a cute little accordion fold. Now you can make it as thick as you want, but because I only have like a 1/4 inch gusset, I'm only gonna use 3. That should be plenty. So then I'm gonna add glue all along here and just place it. I'm not gonna place it right on the center. I'm gonna place it down a little bit. That way, if I have tickets that stick up, that's even better. Like plane tickets or train tickets, I don't know. So here we go. So now we have a cool little place to storage, receipts, tickets, different kinds of things. So now for my pages here, I want to keep it pretty simple, but at the same time I do want to add something. So let me grab a couple more envelopes, and I'm going to trim my envelopes. So I think I'm going to do 3 more envelopes, but this time I'm not going to glue my envelopes. I'm just going to open it, and I'm going to trim this at 4 1/4. So I have all my envelopes here, and so now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna grab one of them, and I'm gonna do the same for all 3. So I'll just show you on one. I'll leave that there. So this part right here that opens like that, I'm gonna insert into my other envelope, just like so. So to do that, I'm going to add some glue on this triangle part, and I'm gonna insert I'm just gonna make sure it's all the way in, and then I'm gonna close it. So now over here I have, this will be a pocket. We're gonna close this pocket up with the design paper, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then you get room for a picture here, and then this will also be a pocket. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna do the same with the other 2, so I'm not gonna do that right now, but I will show you how we're gonna close that. So let me grab let me cut another piece of paper that's gonna be 4 inches wide by 7 inches. So I'm gonna cut it on the side here. so this piece, like I said, measures 4 by 7, and I'm just inking and making this look a little bit more vintage. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add glue on these sides over here, the one that's part of the envelope. I'm just going to go around like so, and make sure you stay on this part of the envelope. Okay, and then you're gonna grab the piece that it's gonna go on top, and on this one I'm just going to see if you want to place it this way. You're gonna add glue only on this side. So I'm just gonna add a line here of glue, and then I'm just gonna place this. I don't know if you can see. Okay, so I'm just gonna place that like that, and this is gonna close your pocket here over here, so it doesn't look, you know, with the envelope cut out. And then this is going to be a pocket. Well, it's kind of wet. So this will be a pocket, and then we're gonna cover this as well, and of course we're gonna cover that. I just want to show you that step, and then we will have another pocket over here. So I'm gonna repeat the steps for the other two, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I covered both sides and made my pockets, and then for the inside and the back, I'm going to cut a piece of 4 1/4 by 7, and these are all going to be the same for all of those. So let me just do one, and then I'm going to show you how to add the insert for this pocket. I'm kind of running out of glue. Okay, so let me just place this one. Let me see, I want to put this one on this side actually. And then of course you can make a pocket here if you want, or you know, you can create a multiple waterfall effects, but for now I'm going to leave mine plain because my album, it's a 1-inch album, and I do know it's going to be a chunky album, but I'm gonna, you know, try not to make it super chunky, so it will be chunky once I add the pictures. So, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm actually going for that look. Okay, so for the inserts here, I'm going to use the cards that come with my envelopes here, and I'm just gonna fold them, and I'm going to cut them. And I have one already done here, and let me just tell you, if you're using the cards and you fold it, you basically will trim it at 3 3/4. So 3 3/4, and then this is going to go right in here and go like that. Now if you're not using the cards, I will cut this piece at, let's see, 7 1/2, and well, the length is gonna be 6 1/2. So 7 1/2, and then you will score down the middle and make this little card right there. And of course this is optional, you don't have to. You can use your pockets for more memorabilia, but then for me, I want to use these cards, and I'm going to cover only the outsides, and I'm gonna leave the insides, you know, optional to add some journaling. But yeah, so these cards will go like so, and then we can cover it. So this is basically your one page. You open up like that, then you open it like this, you take this out, use it as a journal, you can use it as picture, and then here we also have another room for journaling. So again, I'm going to use my cards, and I'm going to trim it at 4 1/4. So now the cards measure 6 1/2 on length, and I will just trim this at 4 1/4, and I'm gonna turn it around and trim again at 4 1/4. And I believe I have one more here that I just did. So these ones will be your inserts here. So 4 1/4, and then you have a little tiny room here where I'm going to add some lace. So yeah, so this will go like that. And again, if you want more room for storage, you can just use the card, the whole card. I'm missing one here. So see, so then you have all 3 of them, and I will add some lace like I said, but I'm going to do that later because I want to decorate with you my little journal book. So my little book here measures 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm gonna use this design that I love, and I'm gonna cut at 8 inches by 4. So I'm gonna make 1 and 2, and I will need probably 4 pieces of that because I want to cover the back and the front. So I'm gonna use the remaining here and cut at 8 and at 4 again. So perfect. And I do want to round. Well, actually I might not, because my book is not round on the corner, so I might just leave it like that. So I'm gonna pick one of these. They're all the same. I love both sides actually. And then I do want to use this little Tim Holtz book plate. So I don't know if I want it like this or maybe like so. I like it either way. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink my page here. I think I will use this side here, and then I'm just going to glue it. Okay, and I'm just going to cover it. And then I'm gonna add my book plate, and I want to use this book plate because I want to add the date. So this book, I could possibly reuse it. This is another reason why I wanted to make my journaling pages, you know, to be taken out, and I could switch it up. I can just get another one and switch it up and just switch up the year, and then you can use it maybe, you know, every Thanksgiving, multiple times. It's up to you. So let me go ahead and see if I can punch a hole. So I pencil mark, as you saw, where I'm going to mark my holes. Let's see, mine, it's not long enough. So I don't have one of those they have the ones that are super long, but I don't have that one. So I'm just gonna use my tool here, my pointy, something pointy that you have, and just make the hole. See, make sure your finger's not on the other side. I'm like holding it like this. Okay, you don't want to poke your fingers. Okay, so I'm gonna grab those two, and I'm gonna add my little book plate here. And I will add the year, but I think I'll do that later. So for now, I'm just gonna take 2 little brads, trying to pick the same color. Oh, sorry, should have picked them earlier. Okay, so let me see. You know, I put them all together, and then I realized they're not all the same color. So every time I get some, I have to double check. Okay, so that one's not the same color. So then I'm just gonna put my little brads through my hole, like so. And let me close it here. And the next one, just like that. And I'll close it here again. Okay, so once I have this one placed, then I will go ahead and add my paper. So I think the insides I'm going to choose this design just to switch it up. So let me ink this really quick here. And then we'll just do the same thing on the back, you know, without the book plate, of course. But super easy, right? Okay. So there. So I'm gonna add the paper to the other two sides, and I'll be right back. So here we go. Our little journaling book. It's ready. And so I did also ink all around the outsides to give it a little bit more vintagey look. And then later on I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go in and stamp you know, just random places, because like I said, I don't want to make this bulky, but I think that the stamps will do a nice decoration for that. So we are basically almost done, and I'm gonna continue covering my book and just, you know, after. But I do want to do with you the closure for the book. So what I was thinking of doing is just like a lace closure, like I have on my small book here. But as you can see here, I have a book plate holding the lace, and basically I did this because I forgot to do my lace under my paper. So, you know, you always have options to do different things, right? So my idea was, okay, I'm gonna add the book plate to hold my lace, and then I can add the year when I decide to use this. But this time I'm just gonna add the lace, and then I'm gonna add the paper. So I have this beautiful piece of, it's like a vintage trim lace, and I'm gonna be using that one. So I'm gonna add my fabric glue. I'm just gonna add this, and then I'm gonna cover it with my paper. So I'm gonna cut these at 8 1/4. And I'm gonna use this side for the back. So I'm gonna cut, let me see, I'm gonna cut it at 4 3/4. So this should fit. Yes, perfect. Okay. And then I'm going to just ink like we always do. Make it all nice and antique looking. Love it. I love this paper. It's beautiful. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue here. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more fabric glue on top here, just to make sure it's not gonna go anywhere. Okay, and then I will place my back piece. So I covered the front as well, and then here I just used a piece of a scrap. So I'm going to add these flat back pearls that I have. So let me cut the length, and so yeah, so very fast and easy, like I said. I hope you guys were able to follow along and, you know, give it a try. It's very I love this project. It came out super fast, and it's something different. And yeah, so then let me add, I think I want to use this little chipboard here. I was kind of debating on what to use, but then if I use this one, when I tie my album, you can't see it. So I'm gonna save that for the next project. And then I do want to put these cute little birds either up here or down here, maybe down here. And the chipboard here comes with what do you call this, stickiness, but I do want to add some more glue just because it's gonna be on the cover, and it might take a lot. So yeah, so like I said, I hope you guys were able to follow along, and please go to Country Craft Creations if you would like to purchase this beautiful paper collection. If you want to add just one more thing here, I think I'm going to use one of these stickers and just put happy. I'm going to put happy up here. Oops. And I will place that right there. Happy. Alright, so I want to thank you, all of you, for watching, and I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys have a wonderful time with your family and share and treasure all those beautiful moments, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.